Hey guys, today video is a little bit different. I made a thread on a New World forum and Reddit, and I will be link a description, leave a link in the description. And I want to talk about the current stage of Musket today. As I wrote these things, the Musket have low range damage and only sustained, which makes heavy damage against the heavy armor joke. Usually hit 1300 to 1500 on the body and 2100 on the head. Oh, bite armor user, but you know, when they wearing a heavy armor, and if they put some point in the con, it usually hit the 700 to 8, and head is only 1200 to 1300. Because of the low damage, this is the problem. So I will talk later, but I suggest some armor penetration anyway. And the active skills, we know that burst and area of effect damage skill only have a sticky bomb though, and it all six have at least one disadvantage. Like a 3 overshot, the power burn, power shot, stopping power have to reload, which is stuck into our position. Yeah, we can't move during the reload, and trash makes you walk, not running. I don't think it's that this one is a huge problem though, but some people come to me and talk about this, so I wrote it. And shooter stance locks into your position. We can't move until dodge out or we give up the skill. It will go into cooldown again whatever I shoot only 1 bullet or 5 bullet, it's the same cooldown. And the sticky bomb has a 3-second fuse, which is ridiculous. It has moderate damage, not that great, only 175. I think you should deal like a 300 or something like that if they're gonna keep using this timer. And the alpha passive, I'm not using the passive or sticky bomb at all. Gains 40 stamina on it. Why we need that? And when it drag hits 3 seconds halo, it's not 10 seconds or 5 seconds, something like that. It's only 3 seconds slow. Only, and also requires direct hit, not explosion. And let's go talk about the passive. Yeah, the must-have passive are these: the tactical reload and hostile ballistic advantage. And when it comes to weakened defense, this thing is necessary to against the shield user. But even I take this passive, its effect is so small, I can't beat the shield user with the musket. I need to utilize some heavy attack from the rapier. Also need a shooter stance or a sticky bomb to break through. But better than nothing, right? And all self buff passive, like empower, things are gone whenever I swapping the weapon. Yeah. You guys know my playstyle, right? I swap my weapon very frequently, so they are useless. And about the headshot related passive, the headshot multiplier is so small. It's too weak. It's not rewarding. You rather shot twice in the body, or instead of one headshot, just shoot the body more frequently rather than focusing on the head. It's current stage now, and they have a passive on the headshot, which is ridiculous too. It is fine on the PvE side, I think, but at least in PvP, yeah, they're just useless. And the penalizer on the user states, I made a video about it, right, on a tip video. But why the only we are suffering? What are our other weapons? If they can't change weapon during adjusted, I don't think so. Only the musket can't change weapon during reloading in the adjusted states. This is unfair thing. Yeah, that's why I wrote it. And the solution is comes in now. Possible payback for what I want. Yeah. If they gonna buff us, we can expect some nerf. First of all, they should remove the reload, impossible weapon swaps, penalty things on the user's status. Yeah, it's unfair thing. That's why. Anyway, they could consider recording and ADS sway, but if they gonna add ADS sway on the musket, they gonna change. I mean, they gonna apply. They should apply a huge buff on it. Huge buff to the musket. And recording is fine. I think it makes the game more entertaining too. But if they gonna do ADS sway, there should be a lot of reloading for us. About the active skill change or over the shot should be instantly applied when the gun is loaded, or if it is empty, it should take only half seconds. I think half seconds. Just completely removing the reload is not makes any sense because gun is empty. I think, but yeah, maybe the half a second's reload is fine. And yeah, if it happens, we can burst shot. I mean, we can give a burst damage with a combination of overshot, I think. But yeah, in this case, I think this musketeers where you just 3 overshot or 2 overshot and 1 trap. Even I would use it 2 overshot and 1 trap because it's good. The current sticky bomb and the Shiraz is bad too. And if when it comes to sticky bomb, I think they should give some bright debuff. Yeah, to bright, which is very important in the PvP. If they gonna maintain a 3-second time period on it. Yeah, it's a trapper tray, but it doesn't have any kind of basic debuff, like a snare or something like that. Yeah, it only comes from the passive. So I run it like this. Yeah. If they going to give a basic bright status on it, I'll be happy, but it can be overpowered. So that's why I roll it down like this, and or just completely changing this thing into a caltrop. I think it much more makes sense than sticky bomb. Just give a caltrop bomb which apply a snare. I mean the slow on the area and add possibly will bleed damage in the area like this, and even advanced root mechanic on this bomb can be happen. What about shield stance? It should have more increased stamina damage against shield block. It should be counter technique against them, I think. Shield stance already lock our position into crunch, right? It should be reloading. But I don't know what else. Maybe can expect some damage buff, but it can be overpowered too. And also, I want some. It can be a defensive tool for the musket that using a shooter stance give 1 or 2 seconds super armor, which prevent CC from other weapons like a Great Axe pulling or the Gravity War pulling thing. Maybe possibly against the Ice Country Ice Shower, but it can be overpowered anyway. But shooter armor will be great, I think. And it shouldn't be interrupted by the right attacks of other weapons too when we shooting. It's a part of active skill, right? It should have some immune to stagger from the right attack. Heavy attack should be stagger this thing, you know. It's a heavy attack, so anyhow. And the trap shouldn't be dodged over. Yeah. In current stage, they just roll over the trap and nothing happens. They can hop step on the trap too with a medium and heavy armor. This doesn't make any sense at all. I can expect some kind of damage over time too, but yeah, you know, it can be overpowered too. Not sure, but yeah. And this double trap passive that give the ability to install two trap in the same time. It's just broken. It broke a cooldown timer, so don't use that. It's not working properly. So I recommend it should be like a 50% cooldown reduction instead of it. And let's talk about the passive. Yeah, all self debuff, I mean, the all self buff patch is gone whenever I change a weapon. So it's not worse as my playstyle, right? So I want to be these things could be a debuff instead, but yeah, it's not a common thing. Yeah, and I think the headshot related passive should be changed to the quick scope thing. Yeah, better than headshot, I think. Like ADS gave a certain percentage in power for 1.5 seconds. Yeah, it can be fun and rewarding too. The headshot thing is just meh, I think. Yeah, and useless passive, right? The great accuracy with removed hip firing penalty. Hip fire is still slower than ADS. It's true, you can test it. I didn't count it, but feels clunky. And heightened precision is just meaningless. Whenever you stop ADS, it's gonna be cancelled. Yeah, so bad. We need to keep ADS and re-ADS, keep the ADS from it, and keep doing that to acquire mobility. We shouldn't get hit during the fire, right? But it makes us keep stuck in the ADS, which doesn't make sense at all. And cold shot, 3 seconds to get a 5% damage. What? 5%? Only 5%? Seriously? It should be like a 25 or something like that. It can be useful at that time, but only 5%? Wow. It doesn't make sense at all too. And the trapper, 8 meters. If the enemies came in 8 meters, 10% increased movement. The backup thing. Seriously? We should change the weapon that time. Already. Swap to the rapier and fight back. Or just roll over with the musket to get out. That's what I'm doing. We are not working that time. And the energy burst is so bad. The condition is hard to achieve already, but only regaining 5 plus stamina. I don't think it's worth to. So what I hope is adding armor penetration on the musket. I'm not talking about the flat high barrier all the time. Yeah, like a puncture debuff that stack up the armor penetration whenever shooting within a 6 seconds differentiation timer. Max can be 3, so we can total get a 20% armor penetration. I don't know is balanced value or not. I don't know. I can't test this thing, right? Because there is no armor penetration on current stage. The Amazon Game Studio should decide whatever it is, but I just gave a concept. And the closing month, I don't want to feel unfair. It's so unfair now. The game is so badly designed on the musket. We need to put the effort like a double or triple than other weapon. It is true actually, because the hand is much busier than others weapon user, and we need to think and use the skills properly, like use your overload shots after getting into cover, or just avoid enemy shots, like the skill shots, like a full penetration shot or poison shot thing. Avoid that, and using a reload skill at a time. It can be, but as you know, it takes 2 seconds to reload with the skills. I think that's unfair. That's why I'm talking about. It's a skill. We can't use it properly. I mean, often during the combat when others not. That's a limitation of this weapon. I hope it is changed and improved so we can we can get a chance to beat somebody against a heavy armor hero and sword and board something like that. Yeah, that's how I will talk. Oh my God, it's only 15 minutes to talk about it. I didn't know this will take so long. I expected only 10 minutes, something like that. Anyway, I made the post and I will be put the link on the description. So if you guys can, I mean, if you guys agree with me, please hit some recommendation on it. Yeah, so the game studio can see this and maybe change will come future. Maybe. I'm not sure, but hopefully this happens. I hope. I, w- I wanna enjoy my game much better than this current flow of design of Musket. Yeah. Thanks for watching again, and see you later. Thank you.